I had obviously learned a lot about selling and took a job to learn about selling, kind of stepped back after having gotten my MBA at Kellogg and taken a job as a director of sales and marketing to kind of step back, based on your advice, to really learn about selling. And part of that learning about selling was seeing we're always selling. We're selling all the time. It doesn't have to be a product or a service or a quota based, sales job. But I was realizing, raising two, young daughters, that I was selling them all the time on their potential, on what they could accomplish in this world, selling them on that. And then as I, established and founded Lyons Consulting Group, LYONSCG, I was always selling people on ideas and selling people on their potential and really working to maximize my potential and help other people maximize their potential as well. I'm trying to take away kind of that negative stigma that exists with a lot of people that, sales is that used car salesperson that's a sleazy person that's trying to sell you something you don't want, versus this concept of selling, who would say, I'm selling you on your potential. I'm selling you on being the best you can be. I'm helping you maximize your unique gifts. That's selling as well. And that's not, the traditional viewpoint on sales.
Not at all. As a matter of fact, you've spent a great deal of time refining your ability to problem solve, so you can help people problem solve, so you can help them do what's right for them. You're not trying to get them to do something that they don't want to do, which is the old view of sales. But what you're trying to do is to actually contribute to their life, help them solve a problem with whatever service you're offering.
But there was so much I learned after that in terms of social emotional intelligence and in terms of establishing rapport and all the things we're talking about that made me want to, in partnership with the Wright Graduate University, establish a different type of MBA program where you would learn social emotional intelligence, when you would really understand how to establish a relationship with someone and establish rapport with someone, which is much different, than what I learned, right? Of course, I learned about finance and marketing and sales promotions and all of that. But this concept of understanding what I'm feeling, understanding what someone else is feeling, like we used to really say, put yourself in your customer's shoes. Can you really put yourself in your customer's shoes and understand what they're going through? It's not about me, it's about them. And if I can help them, then that's great. We said customer first was our biggest core value. How do we put that customer first? How do we put ourselves in the customer's shoes and understand everything, every problem from their perspective? It's not about us, it's about the customer. So our processes, everything we did, we tried to put and paint in that perspective of the customer and what the customer wants. So if you take that business approach and then look at it in terms of, as I mentioned, my daughters and raising children, and especially in this day and age, raising daughters, I wanted them to understand they can do whatever they want, to not feel any limitations, to really maximize their potential. And so I was selling them all the time on their potential and what they can do, and don't be limited by what other people are telling you. If you would have asked me 30 years ago, I would say, conflict is bad. It leads to divorce. Like, why? I never saw it resolved positively. But I've learned over time that conflict, and even within sales, those objections, that conflict that a customer brings up objections, that's gold. If you're not getting objections, you're not getting the information. You're not digging deep enough. You're not finding out enough information. So we used to joke, from a sales perspective, yes is yes, maybe is yes, and no means maybe. So it means really to dig in deeper and really understand, because unfortunately, younger salespeople, and I was guilty of it too. I just want to tell you about my product and about my service and tell you about all the features and functionality. but I forget to tell you about the benefit. You care about the benefit, you don't care about the rest. So that takes a lot more in terms of questioning and understanding that customer.